Hi, I'm Shah. I live in Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh. This is how I get to work almost every day. The first part of my morning's pretty simple. Before I can catch my bus, I have to cross this busy road. There's a pedestrian bridge here, so that's usually the safest way to get to the other side. Even with the bridge, a lot of people don't use it. Instead, they cross the road below, walking between buses, cars, motorcycles, and rickshaws.
It's risky, but it also saves a little time. To be honest, I do the same thing sometimes. When almost everyone around me is crossing below the bridge, it's easy to follow the crowd. Today, though, I'm taking the bridge.
Once I get to the other side, I'll have breakfast at a small shop where I eat almost every morning. After that, I'll catch my bus and head to the office. I've been following this routine for years, so it doesn't feel unusual to me anymore. For someone visiting Dhaka for the first time, it might look very different. For me, it's just another workday.
Because of my high cholesterol, my doctor told me to stay away from fried food. So almost every morning, I stop at this little food shop and buy the same thing, just a butter bun. Every neighborhood in Dhaka feels a little different, but no matter where you are, you'll usually find small shops, street vendors, and people going about their day.
I've been coming here for a long time. It tastes good, it's filling enough, and it only costs 7 cents.
Right next to the food shop, they're making fresh parathas. A paratha is a flaky, pan-fried flatbread, and it's one of the most popular breakfast foods in Bangladesh. People usually eat it with lentils, vegetables, or a fried egg. Two parathas with a fried egg cost about 15 cents. I used to eat them more often. These days, I mostly just enjoy the smell. I'm also buying two singaras. A singara is a crispy pastry filled with spiced potatoes. It's a popular snack that you'll find almost everywhere in Bangladesh. These two cost me just 5 cents. So my breakfast today costs a total of 12 cents. Nothing special, just a quick breakfast before another day at the office. Now it's time to catch my bus. Breakfast is over. The route I take to work still uses double-decker buses. They're not very common in Dhaka anymore, so I actually like taking this route. While I'm waiting, there's something you'll see almost everywhere in the city. All these tangled wires. Some carry electricity, others are for the internet or cable TV. Over the years, more and more wires have been added, but the old ones often stay where they are. That's why they end up looking like this. My bus is here. This is the lower deck. I'm going upstairs. Since this is the first stop on the route, the bus is still almost empty. That won't last long. In a few minutes, most of the seats will be taken. Most people you see on these roads are simply trying to get to work, school, or home, just like people do everywhere else in the world.
This is a city garbage truck. Dhaka is a city of more than 20 million people, so these trucks are on the road every day collecting waste from different neighborhoods.
Just ahead are rickshaws. If you've never been to South Asia, you might not have seen them before. A rickshaw is a three-wheeled bicycle taxi, and it's one of the most common ways to travel short distances in Dhaka. They don't always follow traffic rules. They stop wherever passengers want to get on or off, and sometimes they even drive the wrong way for a short distance. The government once tried to remove rickshaws from some of the city's busiest roads. The drivers protested. They told the government, "Give us another job first, then we won't need to drive rickshaws." Eventually, the government backed down.
Finding a steady job isn't easy for everyone in Bangladesh. So for many families, driving a rickshaw is simply how they make a living. There are also motorcycles. Most of them belong to Uber and Patal. If you're familiar with Uber, Patal works almost the same way. It's a Bangladeshi ride-sharing company, and it's just as popular here as Uber.
If you've never visited Bangladesh before, the city might seem a little chaotic, but after living here for a while, it all starts to feel surprisingly normal.
Along the sidewalks, small food stalls have already opened for business. Office workers stop for breakfast, students grab something to eat, and others pick up tea before continuing their day. The government has tried to remove many of these roadside vendors over the years. The vendors protested because this is how they earn a living. In the end, many of them were allowed to stay. Those tall apartment buildings up ahead are government housing. They were built for government employees and their families. There's another pedestrian bridge. There are many bridges like this across Dhaka. Even so, you'll still see people crossing the road below instead of using them. I guess old habits are hard to change. Along this road, there are small shops almost everywhere. Some sell fruit, others sell vegetables. A few are even selling fish and live chickens right beside the road. Not far from here, there's a large traditional market where people can buy almost everything. Even so, many vendors still choose to sell here instead. Up ahead, part of the road has been dug up. The city is installing new drainage pipes. Road construction like this is pretty common in Dhaka. The city is still growing, and new infrastructure projects are happening all the time.
Life here isn't always easy. Bangladesh is still a developing country, and many people work long hours just to support their families. Take the rickshaw drivers, for example. Most of them spend the entire day on the road and earn only about $4 to $5. It's hard work, especially during the hot summer months. I've gotten used to the traffic. Most days, I don't even think about how long the trip takes. It's simply part of living in Dhaka. Sometimes I wonder how different this city will look 10 years from now. New buildings keep appearing, new roads keep opening, but some things never seem to change. Every morning, millions of people begin their day just like this, going to work, going to school, or simply trying to make a living. Someone selling fresh coconuts. People usually drink the coconut water straight from the fruit. On hot days, it's one of the most popular drinks because it's natural, refreshing, and inexpensive. There are quite a few private cars on the road here, but owning one in Bangladesh isn't easy. Unlike the United States, where many people own a car, most families here rely on buses, rickshaws, motorcycles, or ride-sharing services. Bangladesh doesn't manufacture private cars. Almost all of them are imported, and the government places very high taxes on imported vehicles. By the time all the taxes and duties are added, the total can reach 300 to 400%. That's why even a used Toyota Corolla that's 7 or 8 years old can still cost around $10,000. At the same time, many office workers earn only about $200 to $300 a month. For most people, owning a private car simply isn't realistic.
Bangladesh is a small country, but more than 170 million people live here. That's one reason cities like Dhaka can feel so crowded.
This is how most car washes work in Dhaka. You won't usually see the large automatic machines that are common in the United States. Labor is much cheaper than expensive equipment, so washing cars by hand makes more sense for many businesses. I don't own a car, so I've never had one washed, but I would guess it costs less than $1. The large building coming up is the National Parliament Building. I pass it almost every workday. It's one of the most recognizable buildings in Bangladesh. A metro train is passing overhead. This is Bangladesh's first metro line. The government is building several more lines, but for now, this is the only one. My bus fare is only 20 cents. The same trip by metro would cost about 60 cents. The metro station is just up ahead. Not long after we pass it, the traffic slows down again. This is probably the least enjoyable part of my commute. My office is only about 20 kilometers from my home, but on a normal workday, the trip usually takes around an hour and a half. Most of that time is spent sitting in traffic. I've cut out most of the traffic jams in this video. A little farther ahead is the elevated expressway. Drivers have to pay a toll to use it, but it helps them avoid many of the traffic lights below.
A large advertisement for the iPhone 17. I've heard the camera is excellent for recording videos. I'd like to buy one someday, just not right now. Because of import taxes, iPhones are much more expensive in Bangladesh than they are in the United States. A new iPhone can cost around $2,000 here. For someone earning an average office salary, that's roughly 4 to 5 months of pay.
Most days, I don't think much about this commute. It's just part of my routine. But looking at it through a camera makes me notice things I usually ignore. Dhaka feels busy almost all day. No matter what time it is, there always seems to be somewhere to go and something to do. Now we're passing the Intercontinental Dhaka. It's one of the oldest and most well-known hotels in the country. The city changes a little every year. New roads, new buildings, and new metro lines are slowly changing how people move around Dhaka. Even after living here for many years, I still notice small things almost every day.
Most people in Bangladesh don't live a luxurious life. They simply work hard and try to support their families. That's what everyday life looks like for millions of people here.
I'm almost at my stop. Once I get off the bus, I still have about a 10-minute walk before I reach my office.
Bangladesh is still developing. Things don't always work perfectly, but little by little, the country continues to change. I've just gotten off the bus.
There are clothing shops, bag shops, and lots of other small businesses along the sidewalk. And just like earlier this morning, there are tangled utility wires everywhere. That's my office building up ahead. Time to get to work.
Family is an important part of life here. Many people live close to their parents or relatives even after they get married.
The workday is finally over. I've been at the office for almost 9 hours. Officially, my workday is supposed to be 8 hours. In reality, it's usually closer to 10 or even 12. Staying late is pretty normal here. Extra hours don't usually mean extra pay. I don't know how overtime works in the United States, so I can't really compare the two. Here in Bangladesh, many office workers don't receive overtime pay even if they stay several hours after the official workday ends. By the time I leave the office, it's already getting late. A light rain has started. The weather changes quickly during this time of year. I don't mind the rain too much as long as it doesn't get any heavier before I reach the bus stop. It's about a 10-minute walk from my office. The sidewalks are still busy. Some people are heading home like I am. Fruit vendors are still here, selling mangoes, bananas, watermelons, and whatever's in season. For them, the workday isn't over yet. Mine is. Now all I have to do is make one more bus ride before I get home. I've boarded the bus to head home.
The bus conductor makes his way down the aisle. My fare is the same as it was this morning, just 20 cents. Unlike in many countries, paying by card isn't common on buses here. Almost everyone pays with cash.
I've been taking this route for years. Most mornings feel almost the same. After a while, you stop noticing things that visitors see right away. Dhaka is one of the most densely populated cities in the world. With so many people sharing the same roads every day, traffic becomes part of everyday life. One thing I've learned is that people here are always adapting. Whether it's traffic, construction, or the weather, everyone simply finds a way to keep moving. Living in Dhaka teaches you patience. Some days there's nothing you can do except sit back and let the traffic move at its own pace.
I've arrived. I just got off the bus. Now I'm going to buy some fruit before I head home. Tomorrow morning, I'll wake up and do it all again. The same bus, the same roads, the same traffic, the same breakfast. It's a routine I've followed for years, and I don't think much about it anymore. But if this was your first time seeing a normal workday in Dhaka, I hope you enjoyed coming along with me.